Here's the difference between the 362 and the 400. This is a 67cc saw. That's a 59cc saw. This saw has the power that saw does not have. All right, so what are we doing here? This is the 400. I've got it just about tricked all the way out. I've got the dogs on it, got the bark box on it. I got it calibrated that, and then yesterday the foam air filter came in for it. Actually, I ordered this air filter for the 362, but it will go on the 400 because the saws are identical. There's a carburetor set up on them, everything's the same. The air horn here, all of it is the same cover, whole 9 yards. So I figured it would go on there, and it will. But so you got to pull all of this off, and you've got these rubber pieces right here and on this side that are very tricky to pry there, and there's not a video nowhere on YouTube that shows you how to do it. And what I did was I stuck a screwdriver. I just kind of felt my way through it gently, because these are the instructions that come with it right here, because you got to take this piece off and it screws in from the inside here. So I took a screwdriver and just kind of felt my way through it and was able to stick it. I tried just pushing this back, and I seen that wasn't gonna work. So I got between the case and the rubber piece, which it sits in there like that, and was able to push it far enough over to get it out, and then get this one off over here. Now, the next thing is you've got the kill switch and everything right here. All I need to do is just get this thing back a little bit, but I'm fixing to have to take some of this linkage loose right here, I do believe, to get it back far enough. I'm glad there are people who like to work on these little small engines and stuff, because I, however, am not one who much enjoys it. I will do it, but I'm not too crazy about it. So this saw right here, I paid, I looked at my ticket, it was $920, and that was with the 25-inch ES light bar on it. I don't think the saw has got some crazy power and everything. I've run about 3 tanks of gas through it now. I think for somebody making money with it, you know, like what I do, doing tree jobs or filming like this video right now that y'all are watching on YouTube, you know, the videos more than pay for the saw, so that's fine. But I think just to have the saw, I don't think it's worth that much money, because that's $920 without tax. I mean, when you've add tax to it, it's going to get it over $1,000 depending on where you're at. Well, 462 now is, I think I looked at the price tag on it the other day when I was over picking this one up. I think it's $1,100. Well, the 661 that I just bought, I paid $13 for it over in Georgia. But you know, I wouldn't run out and buy this saw. It's a good saw, good running saw. It's like I said, it's very comparable to the 362 over there. But here's the difference between the 362 and the 400. This is a 67cc saw. That's a 59cc saw. This saw has the power that saw does not have. I mean, that saw's got power, and I got a 20-inch bar on it, and it pulls a 20-inch bar, awesome. But this saw right here will pull that 25-inch bar like it's not even on it. And I think they're very comparable in weight. I hadn't weighed them both together to see what that one weighs. This one right here, set up just like it is, full of gas and oil, weighs 18 pounds on the money, slap full of gas and oil. But you know, if you're making money and you know, you want more butt than what the 60cc saw's got. This is your saw right here, and this saw is got some, like I said, it's a lot more power than the 362 over there is. Like I said, because when you put a 24-inch bar on a 60cc saw, it pulls on it pretty good. But I'm gonna put this camera down. I'll get this video up here in just a little bit. I'm gonna put this camera down, and I'm gonna get this intake the rest of the way off right here, and or the mount for the filter there, and get it on off. I'm gonna study here. I just need a little break, film this real quick. Okay, so I ended up taking that screw out, and that little clip goes right here, and then was able to get this linkage off right there. And it should give me, I gotta watch this wire right here. Well, this wire right here, I'm looking over the camera, and that one right there, but I should be able to get enough to get it back far enough to do what I need to do. Yeah, it's gonna work there. I hate tearing apart something that's brand new like this. So you can see what the carburetor on it looks like right there. Clean it off, and let me get these screws out. I'll show this here. You see that Torx there and that one on the right. Got to take both of them off to get this piece off. All right, so I got them both out. There's that piece there, comes off. And then they give you some rubber plugs that go back in those two holes right there. They're in the bag here. They're right there. So to go back to price, I think the 362 is $750, and the 920, it's a lot more money for this saw. Of course, it's got, it's got a magnesium piston in it for weight and all, but there again, I just, if I wasn't doing what I do and make the money off the videos to compensate buying the saws, because I mean that's the reason I buy them, film with them and do that, and then it gives me the opportunity to play with all these different saws too. And then if I want to get rid of them, I can get rid of them after I done mess with them there. But I like how, again, I like how this one runs the 25-inch bar. I love the light bars. They are awesome. So let me put these plugs in. Dang, boy, that might have been the hardest part of it, was get those two rubber plugs back in there. This one over here on this side wasn't too bad. This one on the right was tough. So I got my linkage back on there. Now I need to get these little rubber grommets, force them dudes back in there, get them back in. Well, I'd hate to be the cats who assemble these things every day at the factory. That would be rough. I would go home very pissy every day, or either become a raging alcoholic, one of the two, I'm not sure. All right, so after taking this linkage back off one more time, that'll give me enough room to pull this back to get that rubber bushing in right there. I did. So one thing I want to point out here, these snap-on Torx. I've had a lot of Torx over the years, and I finally looked this kit up on Snap-on. One by like 120 bucks for that whole kit. These are the best Torx I have ever put my hands on right there, and didn't cost too much either. So now let's stick this one in. All right, got that one in there. Now I'm ready to put these two nuts here back on. These are just 8mm. All right, so I got both of the nuts on. There's one thing that I wish that the steels were identical on the spawners, is the fact that the way that they their choking system and fast idle work, which the fast idle's okay, but to kill it, you push up on it to kill it. And the hub spawner, you just touch it down, which is more natural to hit it with your thumb going down than it is to go up with it. Because when that thing, when it touches, when that piece of metal right there touches right there, that's going to be what makes the contact and kills the spark on it right there, I'm sure. But so here's the foam filter. I'm about to oil it up real good, and then I'm gonna install it there. So everything went well till I went to put this thing on, and that was tough. The tolerance between the filter and the mount right there on the back of the carburetor was tight. It's so bad, I actually got my mic out and checked pulled the filter out the 362 over there and mic'd it, and then came back over here and mic'd this one just to be sure, and they were the same size. But I like to have never got that thing on there. It's soaked in oil. See all the oil on my hand there. So I'm about to crank it here without the cover on it and just kind of watch it for just a second, and then we'll take it outside and we'll put it in calibration mode and run it there. We're gonna put my chats on, we'll take it outside, I'll set the camera up somehow or another, and I'll throw it in calibration mode, show you how that works. And then we'll make a few cuts with it. The saw hits hard too. It's got a pop to it now, just for sure. All right, so I got the saw warmed up. I'm gonna throw it in calibration mode. I think this works on the 3.0 version, and better, you can look on your tag right here. Yeah, this is a 3.0. So what you do is you crank the saw on fast idle, and you leave the chain brake locked, leave it on fast idle for 0 to 30 seconds. And then from 30 seconds to 60 seconds, you need to pick up the throttle, unlock the chain brake, pick up the throttle, hold it wide open. You'll hear the saw, but it's got to be between that 30 and 60 second mark. You'll hear the saw stutter. You'll hear it stuttering. It won't run wide open. You'll hear it kind of peak and go down a little bit on its own while you're holding it wide open. And then after about 15 seconds of it doing that stuff, then you'll hear the saw all of a sudden burst wide open. When it bursts wide open, she's ready to rock and roll. So let me make sure this is still recording. Okay, yep, it is. All right, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set my watch to where I'll know. So here we go. Oh, lock chain brake, fast idle, here we go. she's pulling some pretty good chips. That's not that big a stick. That's on about a 9 or 10 inch stick right there. Let's I'll flip y'all around and I'll make some cuts on this pine right there too. So I'm about to swap something else too, not on the saw, well, with the saw, or all my saws. Those of y'all who've been following me know I run a premix, and I've been running it since last year. And I'm actually fixing to switch to a different gas. I got my first batch today of it, and I ran it in a 372 out here, a good bit, and it did very well. It's not pump gas either, and it's also not premix. So once I run it for a little while, I'll explain to you what it is. So I'm about to get this video ready real quick, and we went to the woods this morning, and man, it was a no-go. It rained, heavy rain last night, and then again all day today. Not already done called it off for tomorrow, going to the woods tomorrow, so that's not going to happen. One thing I want to mention about the 362 version of saws, the 362 and the 400, they've got, like I said, they've got the same air filter in them. Both of those saws do a very good job keeping the air cleaners relatively clean. Much better than the 500 and the 661 does. The 500 does a terrible job keeping the filter clean, but the 400 and the 362 do a pretty fair job. They're not They're not at the level of the Husqvarna clean, but they're much better than what I've experienced in the past with some of the other steel saws. Like I said, the 500 and the 661 are terrible air cleaner systems. I am going to order a max flow for the 661 and put it on it. I'll pull that cover off of that 400 and check it here in a little bit after I get it done. So late video tonight, like 7:42 here right now. So let me throw this thing together for you if you need some tree work done or some excavation work done around here. My email is right down below. Hit me up, send me an email. We'll get together. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.